Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 169 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. Come on, we won't be able to do this for another, 2 years.
Nice.
As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my brother, Sean.
How we doing?
He's back.
I'm tan. I'm not tan.
You're not. If you didn't know, if this is the first time you're seeing us, and if you didn't know, whatever, this is the Two Player Co-op Podcast. We're just about every week. Actually,
except for the last couple months.
It'll be every week now. Two brothers get together to tell you everything you need to know about in the world of video games. If you like that, make sure you go to youtube.com/2playercoop. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like. I don't do the thing.
I'm out of sorts.
Yeah.
I went to say slash, but I don't need to do that.
No, you don't need to do the slash.
I'm out of practice.
But go over there, hit the like button, hit the share button with your friends. Do the subscribe, share with friends, family, and everyone in between across the multiverse.
Excuse me.
If you really like us, you can go to patreon.com/2playercoop.
I keep wanting to slash it. No, I'm still doing it wrong.
No, you did the slash because you said I keep slashing. I'm going to do the just like.
Gosh,
it'll always be funner. It's been a while since we've done this. Just like our two-player co-op producers Steve Appleton and Aunt Sue did, as well as our affiliates Logan Wilkinson and James Solar, and our two-player co-op partner, the homie Matt Mitchell.
Didn't you just record a week ago without me?
Yeah.
So it hasn't been.
But now
long.
you're here, and I'm like, I'm not in the center. It's throwing me off. We've only recorded once in the last month. It's been too long. We need to think of a bonus episode for February, because the one that we put up was January's. It was just a week late. So yeah. I've got some ideas. We've got that doc from forever ago. If you like merch, there's a document with podcast ideas.
Dot, like DOC.
Yeah, not dot.
No, I heard doc like DOCK.
Oh,
We've got that doc. I don't know, is a doc like a collection of...
Put it on the docket.
I think that's what I was thinking. That's a weird way to refer to it, but I get it now. Word doc.
It's .com. We have twitch.tv/2player_co-op if we ever do the thing over there. I had to do that myself last week, and I went that way first, and I was like, oh, crap, no, it goes this way. But I made sure that in the magical world of editing that it didn't show up. No, it didn't show up until I went back and did it the right way, because it only knows to trigger when it goes. It's true. Magic of editing. Why'd you put that there? Oh, you damn it. You've got a keyboard. I was like, wait, I'm looking at the wrong doc because my witty banter section says that Batman returns, and he does, but we'll get to that in a second. Sean has returned from his cruise. He's back. He cruised. He hung out with Joey Fat One. Did you Did you get to meet him too?
I did.
You did?
I did.
Was that in one of the pictures Brittany put up? Maybe
I don't know if she posted it.
If she did, then I just didn't recognize him because he's all gray now.
He's got a whole beard thing going on, and...
Yeah. So Sean went cruising with the Jokers. No, I didn't see that one. I would have known that was him. Yeah. And he's wearing a hat that says JF. Good for him. That's like Tom Brady with his TB12 crap. You see these rumors? They're like,
he's not going to the Giants.
I saw somebody put up, it was like New York Post or something. Their tweet was him in a Giants jersey. I was like, that's not funny at all.
I saw something that said, again, just a rumor, that said the Cowboys were going to trade Dak and then sign Brady. That would
first
be
off, they can't trade him because he's not under contract.
Well, maybe not. I guess maybe not trade,
or just let him go.
Yeah, maybe let it go.
That would be that would be the most Cowboys move of all time. You've got a young, really good, maybe great quarterback. We don't want to pay him. We'll pay the 45-year-old man instead. Go ahead.
I can't imagine they would.
There's no way. They're not that stupid. I feel like everybody on that team would revolt if this was 5 years ago. Okay, I get it. Because Brady was still Brady's not Brady right now, but whatever. Yeah. So you went cruising, USA.
Went cruising.
You went cruising Bahamas.
Where, baby, I don't care, just cruising. Long as you take me there.
Oh my
just cruising.
God.
That's all I remember.
Wait, who was that? Who sang that? Ja Rule?
No.
J-Lo?
No.
They did that at the never mind. Just I don't know.
Will Smith. I think that was on the
Big Willie Style.
Big Willie Style album.
Yeah, it wasn't one of the big ones. Okay, but yeah.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, you went cruising. How was it?
I went cruising. It was a lot of fun. It was the Impractical Jokers cruise. It was the most fun. It was just, I mean, you've been on a cruise before. It was still like a cruise, but it was just so much more. It had more of like a spring break kind of vibe to it. Like all the guys were out there with like champagne and like liquor bottles and just like pouring it into the crowd.
Oh, the jokers were. I thought you meant like regular patrons. I was like, holy crap, this was a high roller.
And they were like handing out shots, and it was just like I mean,
were there any people like? I'm making a joke, but like not my, you know what I mean though. But were there old people on this, or like I assume you would only go on this if you're a fan?
Yeah. So everybody was a fan. Like you had to book. It's not like you could just say, "Hey, I'm going to go Norwegian. I want to go on a cruise," and then you show up and wait a minute. You know, it's like you had to book it. Yeah. So everybody on there is a fan, and probably a huge fan at that. Probably the youngest cruise I've been on. However, there were still plenty of old people.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. If you were to actually look at average age, there were fewer kids on board than I think a normal cruise, but there was also more people like 20s and 30s.
So the average was like your age, I would guess. Would you say? Or maybe a little bit older? I don't know how long those guys have been around.
Yeah, that's probably about right. They're on they're filming their ninth season now. Okay. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's the most over like a 3-4 day period that I've drank. Well, probably since the honeymoon, because we actually had the alcohol package for that.
I thought you had it for this too.
We didn't. We did the whole
just charge
mouthwash bottle of vodka.
Oh, okay. Like, yeah, we did that back in the day.
We brought like a Yeti on board and would just fill up the Yeti. Not fill up, but pour some
vodka
in the Yeti.
Sprite, yeah.
Go order like free like Sprites or whatever and dump them in and do that. The other two couples that we met on board, or we've been Facebook friends with them because there was a Flip Cup tournament.
Right.
And so we wanted to get in on it. So we found another couple couples that also wanted to play. They both had the drink package, and you can get 2 drinks at a time.
Okay.
So they were like, "Hey, do you want one?" Yeah. So I mean, we drank mostly for free anyway. But
how did they make them? Is it like when we went to our resort in Cancun? They weren't. I mean, we drank a lot, so we got inebriated. But the actual drinks themselves were not. Every time I ordered a drink, I'd say, and give me a floater of tequila or something. You know what I mean? I'd be like, and give me another shot. Too.
They weren't like super duper. They did the trick, but they weren't like so strong. So they had 4, what do you call it? Like signature drinks or whatever. There's a mojito, a mudslide, a Long Island.
Miami Vice?
And no, what was the 4th one?
Daiquiri. Pina colada.
I can't think of what the 4th one was. But anyway, those were all like pre-made. Well, not the mudslide. They had to make that fresh. But like the Long Island, which I probably had the most of, and something else were made like in bulk, and they just had them out in like dispensers. So who knows how well those were made.
It all depends, yeah.
But I mean, I was plenty drunk.
Yeah.
Did karaoke one night, was going to do it again the final night. I'm like, I'm feeling good. I'm going to do
Eminem.
What song?
Lose Yourself.
Bam, nailed it.
Did you see him at the Grammys? It's while you were gone.
Yeah, but I was already thinking about doing it, and then when he showed up and did that, I'm like, well, it's a sign. I've got it. That's going to be my karaoke song. Then some stupid little like 12-year-old girl went up and did it. And I'm like, well, they're not going to have 2 people do this song, and they called her, so now whatever. And she sucked.
You could have done Stan.
She was just up there like, lose yourself. I'm like, come on. And I was right up front.
You're like, just give me
I basically acted like I was on stage. And I was just like, just yelling. I'm like, if they're not going to invite me up, I'm going to do it here.
When we went, it was like one of the last nights when we went to Cancun for our belated 10-year anniversary a year late. They had karaoke one night. It was like the 2nd or 3rd last night we were there, whatever it was. And I was like, it was the problem. We had so many days where it's like we'd lay on the beach. Miami Vice, and I don't
And then
like
you're just
pina
dead
coladas.
by the end of the night.
I don't like
yeah.
pina coladas, but when you combine them with a strawberry daiquiri, it's just amazing. It's like bloop, 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 and a few Bloody Marys to start the day and everything. 1 o'clock, I'm like, ugh. And then by the time it's ready, we're okay. Let's get back. Let's shower, go to dinner, and I'm like, I'll have a glass of wine. And I was just like, I'm already old.
Yeah.
And this was 4 years ago. And I was like, I want to do it, but I was like, this is the perfect place for me to do karaoke because I don't know any of these people. I'm never going to see them again. It doesn't matter how bad or good I am. No one's ever going to see it.
Right.
And I was just like, you want to just go back to the room? I was just like, I'm just so tired. And I couldn't do it. It was like 9 o'clock. And I was like, oh, I can't do it.
Yeah. But I don't know. It was a lot of fun. Jim Brewer was one of the
Really?
featured comedians on
That's
there.
awesome.
And I didn't get a picture with him, but I got to talk to him a little bit. He the first night they were doing karaoke because his daughter was on board. Bon Jovi's daughter is I don't know if she's a friend of somebody on the show or if she somehow works for the show, but she was up on stage. She did.
That's my life, probably.
No, the big one.
Living on a Prayer.
She did Living on a Prayer, and then
Shot Through the
Oh
Heart.
no, somebody else did.
Shot Through the Heart, Wanted Dead or Alive.
Wanted Dead or Alive, but she didn't.
Wanted!
But yeah, so I think
I know it's a chair. Yeah.
but I think Jim Brewer's daughter was maybe doing karaoke or something, but he just came out in the crowd
That's
and was just
awesome.
standing there for a little bit, and it's so weird.
Does he still look like
In general, he looks like that, but when he's not on. When he's
just,
not performing,
normal?
yeah, it's just
That's
hey man, but he's got the same laugh. When he laughs, it's still he's got the same Jim Brewer laugh, but all of a sudden he's just this mild mannered guy. You would never know that he's Jim Brewer.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. It was short. It was only 4 nights. I think the earliest we went to bed was 11:30, and I think every other night we were out anywhere from 1:30 to 3. I don't know. It was.
But again, time is a flat circle when you're on a cruise too.
Yeah, you just kind of lose track. You lose yourself in the music, the moment you own it.
Better never. I showed you my video, right?
Yeah. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm really glad we went.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you went. I'm glad you're back. I missed you. Doing this alone, one of these times I'm just gonna be like, oh, Sean, I'm sick. We
Can
have
you come
we
over
have
to my house
to my house
so
and
you can
record the
record
podcast
while
all
I
by
sleep?
yourself. It's tough, but thankfully, did you get it? You didn't get a chance
I
to
haven't
listen to
watched
it
it.
back.
No. I'll listen or watch it tomorrow.
We had what were the questions? We had 3 good questions. Let me see. Oh, I deleted them, of course. All right. Crap. Now let me try to remember them. Oh, it was 3. I won't give you the answers because you can listen tomorrow. But it was 3. If you could just 3 pie in the sky announcements.
That's one I said, I feel like I know him. And then you said, no, you don't.
You know one because it's obvious, but I put a twist on it. The other, that's what it was. The other one was Ernie said if you could take a classic game like Altered Beast or something like that, and then I couldn't get Altered Beast out of my head. How would you remake it? Blah blah blah. So I said Altered Beast. I also said Contra, and then Nick said, where did you get the idea for Versus? And as I was doing that, I was like, I'm pretty sure we talked about Versus before we ever set foot on YouTube. It's something that I've been talking about forever. It seems like, and then we finally just pulled the trigger.
Yeah, I don't remember. That's a good question. I don't really remember. It seems like it's just always been an idea forever, and then we were like, well, now's the time to do it. But yeah, I don't know when we actually first started talking about it.
And then some guy named Sean wrote in and asked me why I'm the way that I am. And I answered that as only I can. You'll have to tune in to see. You should tune in to last week if you hadn't already out there. But we're not here to talk about the past, Mark McGuire. We finally got a teaser for Patfleck. I called him Patfleck. The funny thing was that day.
That doesn't even make sense.
Did you see my tweet?
I
You were
saw
still
lots
on
of
the
tweets.
boat. You know you were still on my boat. That earlier that day. Huh?
You were still on my boat.
No, I didn't say my boat. The
You
boat.
did.
Maybe I did. You were on my boat, my cruise ship. I tweeted out, because there was a behind the scene video of these guys in masks beating up somebody and they had their faces painted or something. And I was like, this is cool and everything. My hype levels are intensifying. But when are we going to see Pat?
Oh, I saw that.
When are we going to see
that
Pat
came out
Fleck in
before
the suit?
the Batman thing?
That day, that morning. And then the night they put it out. But I said, when are we going to see Pat Fleck in the suit? Didn't think anything about it. But I'm like, I'm not even deleting it because I think it's funny. Because I was trying to say Pat Man, but I went back to Batfleck and I just called him Pat Fleck. So from now on, I'm just going to call him Patfleck. Hopefully I remember to put it in here if you guys haven't seen it yet somehow. Sean, what did you think?
I would never have recognized that as being Robert Pattinson.
I can kind of recognize the chin.
I mean, knowing that it's him, I'm like, I guess I can see it. But if you just showed me that, was like, here's our new Batman. Who is that? I don't know. He looks the part. It looks cool. I like the whole thing with like the symbol, what they're doing.
I hope that's it. At this point,
it's got to be.
Like, I think Reeves has even liked or retweeted stuff with people saying, if you don't know what we're talking about, people are saying they think that the symbol, it looks like it's made of the gun that Joe Chill used to kill his parents, is what it looks like. And I feel like Reeves or somebody, the composer or somebody, like the guy that did the music in that, is doing the music for the movie as well.
Yeah.
Somebody retweeted or liked stuff or something that makes me think that's actually what it is, and that's cool. So, I don't know.
I'm getting some... It gives me very Batman Begins vibes, like a very just stripped down, like everybody's commenting on how it almost looks like a homemade suit kind of thing. And it just seems like, not that, I mean, Batman Begins is, it's up there in the Batman movies. But I think the vibe, the whole like style of that movie is awesome. Mm-hmm. Like Batman Begins, like it's, and this seems like it's going to take that kind of to a whole new level. Yeah. I'm inferring a lot from one little 10-second clip, yeah. But I don't know. I'm finally actually convinced that this is actually happening now.
I was going to say, you were the one that was like, I just don't think this movie's coming out. And that's what I was like, Sean, it is. I know why you say that, but I'm like, it is happening. I like that. Yeah. If like, the other video I saw that was really cool, somebody took it and they took out the red lighting and just made it black and white. That made it look even cooler. I don't know why they did the Bray Wyatt lighting. I thought that was a little weird. But you can definitely see, especially if you like turn the brightness up on your phone or your iPad or whatever you're watching it on, so you can actually see more of the details and stuff. You can definitely see stitching.
Oh, yeah, it's like stitched together and stuff, yeah.
Some people didn't like the neck roll thing. To me, it almost looked like, and I said it at first, but then when I watched it 15 more times, it's not this, but the first thing I saw, it reminded me of like linebackers used to wear. They would have, not the neck roll, but they would have the thing, so like if your head went back, it would kind of catch it. Maybe that is what it is. I don't know. I like how mechanical it looks. You kind of took the words out of my mouth. Like, it looks very like low tech, like early. And the other thing too, in the black and white version, you can really see when it shows the symbol, and then as he goes to turn or something, you can see like the shoulder armor like moves separately. Like you can see it, so it'll let him actually be able to move around and stuff. I like that. Yeah, it just... I still don't know that I believe he could kick anybody's ass. He's
more the Bale style.
Yeah, but I never once did I think in any of those three movies, this doesn't make any sense. Christian Bale, and he bulked up and stuff as much as he could. He's still a thin frame and everything. But I like it. It's Batman. As long as they didn't come out looking like Adam West, I was gonna be hyped.
Right. I don't know. I dig it. I like it. Dressed like a bat. I dig it. They're shooting now. It's out June next year. Do you remember how crazy that 4-week stretch is next year? Do you remember what happens? I remember we've talked about it, but no, I don't remember.
The Batman, Jurassic World 3, and I don't remember what the order is. I think it's Jurassic World 3, then the Batman, then Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3 is that quick?
Mm-hmm. In 4 weeks, from like mid-June to early July or something. Or like early June to early July.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the third one?
Jurassic 3.
What was that?
The Batman.
Spider-Man, and what's the other one? Didn't you say there was 4?
No, there's 3. In a 4-week period.
3 in a 4-week period. All of a sudden, I'm like, wait, what was the
I've said all 3. Is this a joke I'm missing?
I'm like, wait, what was the fourth one? I remember Batman, Spider-Man, Jurassic World. I'm like, oh, there was
the
not
other
a fourth one.
No, the other one. I'm like, I just said all 3. So I don't know. I'm super excited for it. He is my biggest worry out of everything.
Oh, he'll be fine.
But I think he'll be fine. And like Matt Reeves knows what he's doing. Everyone else they've cast in this movie seems like perfect casting. I don't know. It's Batman. I hope it really is a trilogy. It doesn't need to tie into the DCEU, anything like that. Obviously, it won't, because I think somebody said it's maybe like his second year. It's not. They're not doing like they're not trying to do like a Batman year one, but it might be like his second year on the job or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. Also, I saw 1917 this weekend. Phenomenal. I don't know what else to say. Just. I even after I said it to you at dinner last night, I thought about it and tweeted. I was like, I think this is my favorite war movie of all time. Like, it is that good. And it's so, and you're across the table, so I couldn't really talk to you, but it's like the one shot thing. It's not like when they did the one shot in God of War where you're just here and then it'll kind of pan over for a cutscene and it'll come back to him. Like, it just, the way the camera flows, there's one moment where the camera does cut because something dramatic happens. And it like reinforces the dramatics of that scene because the camera hasn't cut. You can tell sometimes how they did it. Like
when they like go behind a tree
or something, and you can tell. Yeah. But so well acted, so well shot. One of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen. And the third, it was funny because, like I said, I watched Jeremy John's review again. What he was saying, it was like, that's what I was feeling when I was watching it. Because it's no cut, you get to the point where it's like you feel like it's just not, you're not just following these two guys. You feel like you're the third guy with them because of the way they shot this. It's just like you are, because it doesn't cut and because it's focusing on these two people, it's almost like you're the third one there. So whenever you get to a part where they can kind of calm down and stuff, you find yourself, or I found myself, looking up. Like, I'm not even looking at the two of them acting. I'm looking like, okay, there's a tree line over there. Is there somebody there? No, there's a building. Are they going to get ambushed, or where's this? Like, you're almost like in the mindset like you're there with them. Like, where's the danger going to come from? It's so cool. You guys, you've got to go see it. It's probably, I don't know how much longer it's going to be in theaters, maybe a week or two, but you should definitely go see it. It's that good.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to.
I saw Sonic today with the boys.
And?
It was so much fun. It was so much fun. If he would have looked like crap, I would have hated the movie. Because it does, like, I saw some screenshots of after I watched it, I went back and looked and I was like, oh my God, it's even worse than I remember.
It's bad.
Like, they tried to make him look realistic. It made no sense. And I think it still might have been a conspiracy. I'm not a conspiracy. I almost think they might have done all this on purpose. But anyways, the design is perfect. Jim Carrey is 90s Jim Carrey.
Really?
He just looks like he's having so much fun. It just reminds me of like him as not the exact same, but you know what I mean? Like when he was the Riddler and he was just like, I'm going full into this role and I'm going to make it unlike any Riddler you've ever seen. He was great as Robotnik. There are some nods to the games. James Marsden was really good in it. The Sonic voice was perfect.
Who is it anybody?
No, it's nobody I've ever. I mean, I don't want to say that, but it's no one I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I can't even think of his name now. But Sonic was so good in it. Like it was so much fun. From the very opening, you're like smiling because you're like, oh, that's awesome. And I'm not saying it's like my favorite movie of all time, but
is it your favorite video game movie of all time?
I still think, and I'm not making a joke here, I still think the best video game movie I've ever seen is Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I say that without any sarcasm or anything. I think that was just so well done, especially in the mid-90s with what they were able to do with that. I can't wait for the new one. It's probably going to be awesome. But other than that, it's probably the best video game movie I've seen.
Wow.
It reminded me, I did watch a little bit of Detective Pikachu with the boys when they were watching it one day. I was like, this is actually, I hate Pokemon, but this is actually funny. It works and stuff. And it's the same with this. Like, you're not ever like, why is Sonic here? Like, if Sonic was that weird, tall, skinny, furry design, it would have been, I mean, he's furry in this too, but you know what I mean? It was just like weird. It would have just been weird. But like the Pokemon don't, even though they look like real life Pokemon, they don't look like they belong here. And that's what makes it okay, if that makes any sense. The ending sets up a sequel, which, as well as it's doing, it's looking like it's going to make $57 million this weekend, and the number one grossing weekend ever for a video game movie. It's going to beat Detective Pikachu.
I thought I already had.
Well, they're as long as Sunday doesn't dip more than they think. It's projected to be 57. I think Detective Pikachu was like 54.3. So
it's projected for 57.
Yeah, because they won't know until tomorrow when everything officially updates, but it should beat it. The ending leaves it wide open for the sequel that I'm pretty sure we're going to get. There is a post-credit scene. Well, mid-credits. Don't stay all the way to the end. There's a mid-credit scene that will blow your mind. That's all I'll say.
I can already guess what it is.
You can't.
Really?
Yeah.
Does Mario show up and challenge him to the Olympics?
I will say, like Jeremy Johns was saying, he thinks there's a very heavy-handed kind of through line in this poking at Mario, and I kind of there's it's not a spoiler. There's mushrooms that are involved. Not really involved, but there's like a world with mushrooms. And he's like, I don't like mushrooms. I don't want to go to a mushroom world or something.
Really?
Like whatever. But you got to remember also there was mushrooms in Sonic 3. There was a Mushroom Hill Zone. So I really think it was just that. But there is an animated Mario movie coming, so maybe they're going to team up. Who knows?
Wait, is there really?
Mm-hmm. From DreamWorks. But it's going to be fully animated.
Well, I would hope.
It's not going to be... I'm saying it's not even going to be like Sonic was. It's going to be a like a Pixar Mario movie.
Yeah.
But I think it's DreamWorks. You're looking at me like I'm making it up.
I'm not. No, I had no idea. But
but yeah, it was really good. Definitely go see it. I mean, it's... You will love it. Any Sega kid will absolutely love it. They made Sonic work in the real world, which I never thought they would have done.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep. Sean.
Yes.
You were cruising, so I'm guessing you didn't play any games. Have you put another 10 hours into Death Stranding?
No.
For the audio listeners, he was tapping the microphone because I guess
afraid.
Did you
This
unhook
doesn't
it
even
or
have
something?
like a button, but I thought I hit something and I freaked out.
No,
But this
these
one
don't
doesn't
have
even
an
have a
off button.
switch. So, no, I've not played any more Death Stranding.
Have you played anything?
I played some Bloodborne.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just saying you didn't play anything. Okay.
I am struggling now. The second playthrough, it's going to mean nothing to you, but Martyr Logarius, can't beat him.
That's a boss.
That's a boss. And then Dark Beast Parl, whatever his name is, can't beat him. I only tried that one once. I'm like, what? I don't even need to do this, so I just left.
Is it just because you took a week
Actually, I don't
off,
need
maybe?
to do it. No, I couldn't. Logarius, I couldn't beat before the cruise, even when I was right in it.
Okay.
Dark Beast Parl.
Carl.
I got to him and I tried it a couple times and couldn't beat him. I'm just like, I don't need to. I don't even need to beat him, and I don't need to beat the other guy either. But I'm to the point where I'm almost. So I just finished Yahar Ghul, whatever it's called, the Unseen City, whatever. And
it sounds like you're really far in because I don't know any of the stuff you're talking about from my playthrough. Okay.
There's some. So I've got at least those 2 boss fights to do, which are both optional. I've got Upper Cathedral Ward, which is optional.
That's the big walking around guys, right? The big slow.
Yeah, but it's
guys.
like a totally different area. They're not even. I don't even think they connect.
Okay.
With some cool boss fights at the end. Again, optional. That I think I'll probably do. But I think the next storyline part is more or less going to like the end.
Wow.
I'm rethinking. I don't know that I'm going to get the platinum because I think one of the things that I thought was going to be easy.
The other ending thing or something?
No, that is easy. But the stuff about getting all the weapons and hunter tools or whatever, I've briefly looked into it online, and there are way more than I thought. And you have to get these items throughout, which unlock them in the shop for you to be able to buy them. Mm-hmm. And I think in order to get some of these items to unlock them, there's like these side quests you have to do, and I think a lot of them are missable, and you have to like there's like Yosefka's clinic right in the beginning, and there's the cathedral. What do they call it? Maybe they just call it, I don't know. It's probably got a name. Odon's Cathedral. I don't know. But there's places in Yarnum where you can like knock on a door and they're like, oh, I'm so scared. Do you have anywhere I can go? And you can be like, well, you can go to Yosefka's clinic or you can go to the cathedral. Okay. And I think depending on where you send them, different things happen. So I'm not even sure if you
because you get like the music box for something. Yeah. Okay.
So there's all that kind of stuff, which I think a lot of them lead to you getting an item which unlocks a bunch of stuff in the shop.
So you would have to play this with a guy to platinum it.
Yeah, and I've probably already missed
Yeah.
so much crap on my second playthrough. I don't think I'm going to do it a third time, so I'm probably not going to get the platinum, but I do want to finish it again just to do it. Today, I started Bioshock.
Okay, this was because I was gonna say I haven't started Hellblade yet, and I'll get to what I've been playing here in a minute. But that was my question: was that I haven't. I don't know that I want to do Hellblade, even though I know it's a platinum I can get. I wanted to play Bioshock when you played it, so now I know it is decided.
Yeah, I started
Bioshock.
it today. I don't know if you're gonna like it. I was kind of on the fence in the beginning. It's one of those things. It's almost like Symphony of the Night.
Okay.
Don't get discouraged, because I was, and I'm far from an expert, but I felt like there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, I don't know if I'm playing this game right. Like, I don't get. There's just a lot of things that were confusing me because they don't really explain it. I don't know. If you have questions, let me know and I can try to clear things up. I really like it a lot now.
Okay.
But when I first started playing it, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I'm doing something wrong, whatever. It not in a bad way. Like, I don't think it takes anything away from it, but it does seem very dated. It's weird. And maybe it's just because the last first person shooter I really played was Modern Warfare. Mm-hmm. And this just seems, and I think it's just because it's old. I don't think it has anything to do with the style of the game, but it just feels so like unnaturally flowy. Whereas when you're running around in like Modern Warfare, you feel like you're like running around.
This is like floating or something.
You're just like it's just weird. And I think that's just how games used to be. Like, I don't think it doesn't take
it's
away
a
from it.
13-year-old game.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize just how old it was.
Or was it 07? I don't remember. It was 07 or 09. I can't remember. No, I think it was 07. But anyways.
But I'm enjoying it a lot. It's a lot of fun. I put probably 3 or 4 hours into it today.
I think you can beat it in like 8 to 10. It's not that long. From when I looked
just
up
got
how long
to
beat.
what seemed like a pretty significant event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I won't say too much.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. I think I can probably finish Bloodborne in another 3-4 hours, maybe, if I'm as close to the end as I think I am.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I'm ready to just keep pushing through Bioshock, and then if I like it enough, which I already think I do, 2 and then Infinite. So you should definitely play it. It's
okay.
Give yourself a couple hours to like for your first play, and if you feel like you don't get stuff, and I'm not talking story wise, I'm talking gameplay wise. Like, there were some things I'm like, wait, how do I blah blah blah? Like,
is it a Metroidvania?
I'm like looking. I'm like, there's no buttons that I'm missing. I know what L1 and R1 do, and L2 and R2, and I know triangle and square and X and circle and up, down, left, right, and I know what the touchpad does. I'm like, how do I such and such? And then eventually it just kind of, you figure it out later.
Okay.
So yeah, play it. Give yourself at least an hour, if not 2, to actually get some significant time into it, and don't get discouraged if you're confused.
Okay. Yep. Then I'm going to play that next, because I'll do Hellblade after. But I'm glad you said that, because that makes it easier for me.
Yeah.
I got the platinum in Concrete Genie, finally. I pushed my way through it.
So 1 down, 17 to go.
Well, what you missed last week is that I got 6 platinums.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't. You got 6 platinums.
Yeah.
You downloaded 1. Just tell me. What did you do?
I downloaded and beat Foxyland on PS4 and Vita, Foxyland 2 on PS4 and Vita, and Deep Space Rush on PS4 and Vita.
And collectively, how much time did it take you to platinum these? 2 hours?
Probably a couple hours, yeah. So I got my 39th platinum.
Oh, God.
In Concrete. So Concrete Genie, like I've been telling you the last few. This game never should have taken me this long to beat it. This game has taken me like a month to beat it, because I'm just like, play it for a half hour here, and I'm like, I don't want to turn on any more lights and whatever. Once you go through all the sections and you turn the lights on, you actually do get combat in it.
So had you already beaten it, and you were just trying to platinum it? Or
no,
you
I
hadn't
I
or you
beat
basically
it.
beat it, platinumed it when you beat it.
I beat it, did some more trophies, went back the next day to clean everything up and beat it. And get the platinum, I mean.
So having beaten it, do you like it? I know you were starting to kind of sour on it. Once you beat it, were you like, okay, that was pretty cool? Or you're still just kind of like, meh?
It was fine. I don't know that it would have made my top 10 list last year.
Really?
If you want to borrow it, you can. There's PSVR mode, but I almost think you need the Move controllers for it. I can't remember. It'll show it on the box. I need to look at that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I probably platinumed in like 10 hours. It just took me like 2 months to do it. But, yeah, when you get past, when you light up all the stuff, all the zones and everything, that's like, oh, you're going to beat the game. And then, no, the bullies come and they screw something up, and now the things come. And there's actually combat. And, like, through the whole thing, you create genies to help you with puzzles that are either fire, wind, or electricity-based. When you get to the combat section, you get 3 abilities to fight bad genies with. Guess what they are? And the story goes exactly how I thought it would. I mean, spoiler alert. I'm not even gonna spoil it. It just goes exactly how I thought it would. The platinum wasn't that bad. There's like 128, I want to say, pages. Because what happens at the very beginning, I don't remember if I said this the first time I played it, but like the bullies come get you. You've got your notebook, and they're like, "Ah, you suck," and they rip up your notebook and they throw it up, and all the pages from your notebook go all over the world. And you've got to get 128 pages. And some are really easy to see, some are not. It got to the end where I was just like, I've got 3 more pages in this one zone. It was the biggest of the zones, but I was still like, I'm like, my God, this isn't even anything I can look up a guide for, because I don't know what the hell pages I'm missing.
Yeah.
So I was just like, where have I not been that there could be something hiding in? And I found them, and I finished off the platinum. I'm glad I'm done with it. I liked the story. I didn't love the game. It never controlled that well. Even just running around the world and jumping and stuff, the camera was really weird, and it was not a great game, but I'm glad I played it. I'm glad I got a platinum for it.
Yeah.
Also, I downloaded a game this week. Remember a couple of weeks ago when I sent you the picture about a game about Kevin and his dog Buddy?
Yes.
I downloaded Top Run. Now, the funny thing is they said it was actually coming out like 2 weeks ago. It must have got delayed. You can't find anything on this game because I'm probably the only person that bought it. But it was $5, and what it is it's an automatic runner. But it's actually fun. And I didn't buy it to get the platinum. I've put almost like 9 hours into an automatic runner game because the gameplay loop in this is so much fun. So it's an automatic runner. You start off, you're Kevin, and you've got your dog Buddy there, obviously. And it's kind of like 80s themed. So some of the bad guys, they're like females that are like in let's get physical kind of clothes and stuff, and they're running around the world. And so it's an automatic runner. All you do is there's 3 levels. You're on the street, 1 level up or 2 levels up. And X jumps, you can double jump. Square lets you basically, it's like pushing down and jump in like a platform to go down a level.
Okay.
So if you're like, oh, and there's these pixels all over the world that you collect the pixels, you get pixels to unlock upgrades and stuff like this. And you just run and go as far as you can. You start with just normal mode, which at first it was actually difficult because I was like, it seems like there's too many enemies, whatever. You get the feel of it, and then it feels super slow. After you go for a while, you unlock hardcore mode, which just makes everything, you just run faster. There's more enemies and whatever. And so there's these different power-ups you can get. Like you can have, you can run into an ice cream, which freezes all the enemies. So whenever you get to an enemy, you just walk into them, they explode. You can get, your gun that you shoot in this isn't a gun. You're throwing floppy disks. Okay. You can get it so you throw 3 floppy disks at a time. You can get the buddy shield where Buddy gets bigger and they get a shield around him because it's a buddy shield. And you can run through the enemies and kill them that way. Sometimes the level will switch to the floor is lava for like 15, 20 seconds or something where the floor is lava. So you got to just make sure you don't touch the floor because you die. But the best part is when sometimes it switches to buddy time mode. Buddy time is the funniest thing ever because all of a sudden you're just controlling Buddy with this awesome music playing and you're like on this grid and there's pixels here and here and you just go up or down. You're just trying to get as many pixels as you can. But the best part is in the background, there's a digitized picture of a dog, horribly digitized, but he's just like, and it's like a golden retriever or a boxer. some kind of it's not a wine ram, I forget what it is, but there's like 4 different dogs, and just you see them just like just moving as it goes by. Oh my god, it's the funniest thing. And then there's friends you can get as power-ups as well, that you save them, and one of them like turns into Sonic the Hedgehog and just does like a rolling ball attack. Another one does a super telekinetic blast, and she just this huge circle that kills everybody on the screen. And then the other one, oh my god! Then the other one is Daryl, I think his name is, and he shoots fire. He shoots.
Are these people or dogs?
They're all people.
Oh, okay.
He shoots.
Hoping Daryl was a dog.
That would be great. He shoots fireballs for like 2 or 3 seconds or something. But the loop is, so you've got these objectives. It'll either be like you'll have 3 objectives at one time. Run for 15,000 meters cumulatively or something. Save Daryl 5 times. Get 1,000 pixels in one run or something. And as you get these objectives, you have to knock off the objectives to make your like XP bar go up. You have to get all the way up to level 27 to get I'm going to get the platinum in this damn game. It's not an easy one, but I've got now, I think 15 out of the 21 trophies, but you have to get all the way to level 27. I'm at 19 or 20 now. I forget, but you only get those with the objectives. And some of the objectives, when you get further on, they're like super difficult. I'm loving this game. I can't believe it. Like I was going to buy it just because it's Kevin and his dog Buddy. But then I played it and I was like, I always hated automatic runners like on this, like on iPads and iPhones and stuff. But this is actually really fun. And
is it the kind of game where like you just see how far you can get?
Yeah, you can't beat it.
You never beat it, and you always start back from the beginning. Yep. Okay.
And then after normal and hardcore, there's one more mode that you unlock that's called Rage, where... Oh, and that was the other thing. When you're shooting your floppy disks, you only have 3, and you can upgrade it to 4 floppy disks. So if you shoot 4 at once, you're out of ammo. They recharge as you go through the level, but it makes you think, maybe I should just jump over this enemy instead of killing it. Right. And it also makes you think, well, if I have to kill 20 of this certain enemy in my objective, I want to only use my floppies there. Rage mode, you get unlimited ammo, and you just go as far as you can. However, you can't tick off any objectives or anything like that. It's just fun to just kill stuff and see how far you can go.
Okay.
And there are kind of like boss things that show up on the screen after like 500 meters, 1,000 meters, 1,500 meters. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm shocked that it's as fun as it is.
How much was it?
$5.
Yeah.
But I wrote into Colin this week and say, hey, I just want you to know that you guys, because every week on their podcast, they read the drop. Usually because so Sony does on their blog, if you guys didn't know, on the PS blog, they list every game coming out that week. And some of the write-ups are horrible because clearly Sony is not like editing any of these or copywriting them or anything, like nothing at all. Some of them are just like, you can tell they were just like somebody put them into Google Translate from Japanese and they make no sense. But I was like, if you guys didn't read these stupid games, like they do it because it's funny, but it also is good because it gives a little bit of a spot. I would have never known a game about Kevin and Buddy was coming out if they didn't read it. So because of that, this developer got $5 from me.
Yeah. And you got a platinum, or you will.
I don't know. Oh, that was there's one trophy that's super hard. So you can also go to your apartment where really you just get like trophies and stuff for leveling up. But you can play this game called Cyber Vaders, which is basically a version of Space Invaders, I think. Vertical shooter. You've got 3 kind of like rock things that you can hide behind, and there's like 5 levels of enemies that just go back and forth and they shoot. But you can only shoot one thing at a time, and you have to get the high score. I haven't been able to get the high score in that, and it's super frustrating. I've gotten up to like 880, and the high score is 1200. Like I think what you have to do is get through the whole wave. Like, because if they only move like this, but then as you start killing more and more of them, and as they get further down on the screen, they move all the way across. So it's not like you can just dodge them.
Oh, yeah.
I think somehow I have to kill them all and then get through as much as I can in the second wave. But that might be the one that keeps me from getting a platinum in this, and it will drive me absolutely insane if I can't get it.
Yeah.
But oh well. Sean.
Yes.
Would you like to get in the news of the week?
Sure.
Anthem is being reinvented, and this comes from Kotaku. BioWare will seek to reinvent Anthem's gameplay in a longer-term redesign of the embattled online multiplayer action game, studio head Casey Hudson said today in a blog post. This confirms a Kotaku report from November. I was going to say, Schreier reported this months ago.
Yeah.
And just like always, Schreier was right. Over the coming months, we will be focusing on a longer-term redesign of the experience, specifically working to reinvent the core gameplay loop with clear goals, motivating challenges, and progression with meaningful rewards, while preserving the fun of flying and fighting in a vast science fantasy setting, he wrote in the post. And to do that properly, we'll be doing something we'd like to have done more on the first time around, giving a focused team the time to test and iterate, focusing on gameplay first. Yeah, no kidding. I see you. What are you clicking? Oh, I thought you were typing. Yeah, maybe you should have focused on the gameplay the first time instead of just getting it out before the quarter ended. Months spent. You're doing it again. Anthem had a messy launch last February. Nearly a year later, it still feels like an incomplete game. Major post-launch content updates ended up being delayed. Over the following summer and fall, major figures on the development team like lead producer Ben Irving and head of live services Chad Robertson departed BioWare. They don't know if this is going to be called Anthem 2.0 or Anthem Next, but it's coming. I've played Anthem a little bit. I don't need to read the rest of this because I feel like Sean's going to edit it anyways. I played a little bit. The little bit I played was okay, but it's like, what are you copying and pasting? I got this like way after. I got it when it was $5 on Amazon, like in December, and I was like,
it wasn't even
whatever.
Worth it.
It's fine. Like Noah and Nick played it for a little bit because they got it on Xbox for Christmas, and they were like, I'm going back to Overwatch and Apex and whatever. It's just, if you got it and we both said, let's just team up and play together and do whatever, because that's what it's made for. It's not made for playing single player. And when I was playing it single player, it wasn't that fun.
Right.
I guess I'm glad that they're not abandoning it. I don't know what just happened there. I'm glad they're not abandoning it for people that actually bought this game and spent $60 on it. But like,
yeah,
I almost think they should just cut bait. I don't know.
It's weird. Like, I don't see how this game. I mean, there have been plenty of good premises which just didn't work, but it's just weird. Like, pretty much everybody is in agreement that this game is just not good.
Correct.
And it's just weird how what seems like should be such a, I don't know, a layup gets screwed up so badly.
Yeah, I agree. We'll see what Anthem 2.0 ends up being. Maybe I'll jump back into it, but probably not. I got more than enough to play this year, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Next up, in case you wanted even more evidence about how meaningless E3 will be this year, Jeff Keighley tweeted out the following. For the past 25 years, I have attended every electronic entertainment expo. Covering, hosting, and sharing E3 has always been a highlight of my year, not to mention a defining part of my career. I've debated what to say about E3 2020. While I want to support the developers who will showcase their work, I also need to be open and honest with you, the fans, about precisely what to expect from me. I've made the difficult decision to decline to produce E3 Coliseum. For the first time in 25 years, I will not be participating in E3. I look forward to supporting the industry in other ways and at other events in the future. And then IGN sent this out, just a list of the developers that actually will be there, that are confirmed to be at E3 so far. Sega, Bandai Namco, Take-Two, Xbox, WB Games, Halpert Face, Capcom, Bethesda Game Studios, Ubisoft, Square Enix, and Nintendo. Sean. This sucks. Because even more now I'm like, what? Are we even going to do E3 predictions now?
It's not going to be the same.
No. And it's not like Keighley was going to have his own press conference, but like he's Jeff freaking Keighley.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know. What do you think? Is E3 just not dead, obviously? But then Eurogamer had an article that I sent to Nick, not Nick Shafani, but Young Roshi on Twitter, was like, you know, what's changing this year and everything. And first off, remember last year they leaked everybody's details. Like 2,000 people had their addresses and phone numbers leak and stuff. And then this year they're focusing on, And they sent it out something else too. There was a statement how they're focusing on entertainment and, influencers and Qtainment and all this other crap. And it's like,
yeah,
why?
Right. Not my E3.
What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I'm still looking forward to it, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I am looking forward to it. I mean, I am just out of principle, just I guess by default, but I don't know. It's not going to be the same.
I'm looking forward to Nintendo. I am looking forward to what Xbox is going to do, even though I'm not getting one, just to see what they're working on.
Right.
Ubisoft, I want to see more Watch Dogs. I think it'll be confirmed that it's a launch game. That's what I've said ever since it got delayed. I don't think I'm breaking any news there. I want to see
now,
Gods and
past,
Monsters.
When they're saying that Nintendo will be there,
they will have they will be on the show floor. They're still going to do their own direct separate. Okay. Yeah, they're not saying all those people will have conferences, but they will be at E3.
Okay, I gotcha.
It sucks. It's always been one of my dreams to go to E3, and now I'm like, I don't want to go to this E3.
You probably never. I mean,
now
I don't think it's ever.
We should just go to like a PAX if we want to go somewhere and like actually be able to play games.
Yeah, I'd
and
much
stuff,
rather go to PAX at this point.
Just drive down to Texas, go to PAX South.
Yeah,
or whatever they're calling it now. I can't remember. Next up, a report is showing that PlayStation may be having troubles cutting the costs of manufacturing on the PlayStation 5. This comes from IGN. Scarce components have caused the manufacturing costs of the PlayStation 5 to rise to around $450 per unit, quote, forcing a difficult price-setting decision in its battle with Microsoft, end quote. As reported by Bloomberg, these high costs have caused Sony to take a wait-and-see approach with the PS5's price, which is different from past console launches, as Sony usually sets the price the February of the release year, with mass production starting in spring. For comparison, the PS4 retailed for $399 US and was estimated by IHS Markit to cost $381 to manufacture. If all things were similar with the PS5, Sony would have to price it to be at least $470 to reach the same gross margin. The biggest problem Sony is facing is in regards to the PS5 is a quote reliable supply of DRAM and NAND flash memory. One of the main reasons for the scarcity is that these parts are also in high demand for smartphone makers. Stupid iPhones. It's not unusual for consoles to be sold at or near loss, as the games themselves and subscription services more than make up for it. However, sources claim that Sony is split on whether it should sell the console at a loss, if necessary, to match the Series X, or find a way to make the PS5 profitable as it is. Profitable. The other big thing here, and I actually kind of like this, while the price may not be set, most of the PS5's components have been locked down, including the cooling system, which is, quote, unusually expensive at a few dollars per unit. Most cooling units for consoles cost less than $1, but, quote, Sony opted to lavish more on making sure heat dissipation from the powerful chips housed inside the console is not an issue. Blah, blah, blah. Sony has said that it's not going to affect, the coronavirus isn't going to affect them, but I don't think anybody really knows that for sure at this point. It seems like that's getting worse and worse. But, Sean,
yeah,
what do you think about PS5, manufacturing costs, what they should price it at, all that fun stuff?
I mean, I can't imagine anybody's that shocked if they're seeing this and going, "Oh my god, it's going to be at least $470." Yeah, duh. Like
we've been saying,
it's going to be $500.
Yeah.
There's no way it's not $500. Get ready. But also, I'm also kind of wondering. Obviously, I'm not like a businessman, whatever. But like, Sony can wait this out. Like, why does it matter if they say how much it's going to be before it's out? Who cares? Until you can actually start pre-ordering the thing, that's when we need to know how much it is, because we need to know what we're paying. But, like, who cares if right up until that point we don't know what it's going to be?
Yeah.
What does it matter? So, yeah, wait it out. See what Xbox does and price yours accordingly. I mean...
Yeah,
I'm not in any rush to know how much it's going to be. $500.
Yeah,
at least. I don't know. Just wait and see.
Yeah, I think the good thing about, because we've all been saying this whole time when we were getting all these specs on these next gen consoles, is like how everybody's saying you can't build a computer with this stuff for as cheap as they're going to make it. It's different because you're just one guy trying to buy RAM and whatever and a graphics card, whereas Sony's buying tens of millions of these things to manufacture these consoles so they can get them at a discount. But the one good thing I do take out of this is if it's costing them $450 to manufacture it, we don't have to worry about the thing being $600. At least we know that. Yeah. They're not going to try to make $150 on every console. No. The only reason the PS3 was so expensive was the way they built the PS3. They were selling it at a loss at $600. That's how horribly designed it was. But what I predicted last week before all this stuff came out, I was like, what the heck? Maybe they just make the PS5 $450. Maybe the Xbox Series X is $500 or $600, and then the Series S or whatever it's going to be is $400, and just go a little bit more than that, because the rumors last week were that it's not going to be as powerful as the Series X, or maybe we talked about that when you were still here. I can't remember. But like, if it is around $450, maybe they can drive it down another $10, $15 per unit. Just sell it for $450.
Yeah.
You need to incentivize people to jump generations. Like Xbox has already said, hey, I mean, get a Series X if you want, but it's not going to have any exclusive for at least a year to a year and a half. Like you can play Halo Infinite on your Xbox One or the Series X. You can play Hellblade 2 on, depending on when it comes out, on the Xbox One or the Series X, whatever. PlayStation said, no, we're going to have PS5 exclusives. So you got to get people over to this system. Just sell it for whatever it costs you to make it. Sell it for $450. It's a weird number. You know, it's almost always $299, $399, $499, whatever.
Right.
But the heck, just sell it for $450.
Yeah, I mean, I would almost consider $450 a bargain. Like,
Yeah,
just because I've been assuming it's going to be $500. Even if it's $500, I'm going to buy this.
I mean, it's going to be, what did they say when the specs came out a few weeks ago? 20 times as powerful as the standard PS4? Maybe it was 10. I can't remember. But like, okay. Yeah, that's a deal. I mean, I'm getting it. I'm going to get it day one.
Right.
But I think they should just price the damn thing at $450.
You could, but I mean, again, I'm sure on a macro scale, it probably makes a difference. But like, are there really that many people who would be like, if this thing costs $500, I'm not going to get it. But if it's $450, okay.
But for that extra $50, I'm going to get it. Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's true.
It's going to be $500. If it's any less than $500, that's
a win.
Yeah,
for all of us. Yep. And last up, just a quick one here. We did get new screens of Final Fantasy VII, and they detailed some of the changes. They showed Red 13, who's a tiger.
He's like a anthropomorphic. I mean, I don't know if that's maybe not the right word, but he's like a creature. See, I haven't watched this yet. I started watching it.
I'm not watching it.
And then I'm like, okay, I've seen enough. I never even got past when Aerith is walking around with her flowers. I'm like, nope, stop. I'm going to wait. I'm so tempted because I've been wanting to know what Red 13 is going to look like in this, but I'm kind of just like, I'll wait. I'll accidentally.
Is he a good guy or a bad guy?
He's a good guy.
Okay.
Like I'll accidentally stumble across it on Twitter at some point and whatever, but and it's XIII, not 13.
No, I know. I just I would say 13.
Oh, okay.
13. But is it pronounced 13?
Yeah.
Okay. Like the game.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I assume
like the game.
Nothing was spoken.
This is true.
I mean, you just read it, but I assume it's Red 13. And I noticed the other day there's something. Oh, I think it was. I still haven't listened to it, but maybe it was when Colin posted about how he and on I don't know, Knockback, one of his shows, whatever. They're gonna have an episode basically about Final Fantasy VII.
3-hour podcast on it. And
every time, like, it's not my favorite game of all time, but it's maybe probably definitely my favorite story of all time. Like, it's just so, and every time
that's why I don't want to watch
like
anything.
A little synopsis or whatever about it, and it's like, oh, it's about the evil Shinra Corporation and how they're sucking the resources out of the planet, and it's about, I don't know, it's just every time I just like hear about this brief little synopsis about the game, I'm like, oh my god, I love this freaking game, and god, I hope they don't screw it up. I hope. And what's weird is like I said, I think it's my favorite story, at least my favorite video game story ever. It's not my favorite game, but it's easily in my top 10, maybe top 5. I don't know. there's a lot of gameplay. It gets kind of repetitive. And so I don't think they could screw it up. It's obviously going to be very, very, if not 100% completely different gameplay from the original. So I don't see how they could screw it up. If it wasn't perfect to begin with, it's very, very good. But it's not perfect to begin with. I don't think they could screw it up enough to make it where it's just not fun. I'm a little worried because it's different. But yeah, I can't wait. I'm struggling to not watch this.
I'm not. When I saw it and it's like the 5-minute opening cinematic, I was like, oh hell no. I know I've seen it because I did play 7 only for like an hour.
Yeah.
But I have no memory other than the flowers. I'm just like, nope, I'm not. I want to just sit down for the first time and just be in awe when I finally plugged this in.
One thing that just occurred to me, if this game, episode 1, whatever they're calling it, ends where I think it would, or even anywhere near where I think it would, Red 13 is a long way away from being... Oh, no, I take that back. Never mind.
Do you want to see what he looks like? I've got the site pulled up. Not the video, but just a picture.
Yeah, let's see it.
Like the PS blog post of it.
Oh, I mean, he looks pretty true to...
What you would think he looked like or something.
That's exactly... I mean, that's how he should look.
Super polygon form.
No, that's how he should look. Okay, good. I didn't know if they were going to go all like Lion King and have him just look like...
Right.
I mean, he looks like he did in the original, so that's good.
They also, in this blog post, they talked about Tifa's fighting style and her uppercut, what her ATB bar does. They talked about materia and how that works a little bit more. But the big thing here, I guess this is a big deal, there's 2 kinds of quests in Final Fantasy VII Remake. There's mercenary quests, and then there's battle report quests. So they have side quests now, which a lot of people are like...
Those are both side quests, or one is like the main game and the other is
So
the
here's
side
what
quest?
they say. Cloud can help out many people across Midgar, including local merchants. These tasks are varied. He'll be asked to deal with anything from taking out troublesome monsters to finding lost cats. In this quest, Cloud is asked... Oh, then this is what this picture is. Battle report. Meet Chadley, a 15-year-old research trainee working under Professor Hojo. Hojo, I don't know how you say his name.
Hojo.
He's researching new types of materia and needs a little help from Cloud. You can collect battle report quests from Chadley in the Sector 7 slums. He'll ask you to achieve various requirements, such as making a certain number of enemies assess materia a certain number of times. Complete these tasks, and he'll develop more materia that you can buy. So I guess they're both... I think they're both side quests. I was confused about this, so I was wondering if you could tell me. But it seems like they are both side quests, separate from...
Well,
the
that's
main
how
thing.
it should be. I wouldn't want... Because you were starting to worry me. This is not a game... This should not play out like... I mean, I guess they can make it work, but like this is not a game where you should go on quests. It's just one continuous thing. Let the story just kind of guide you, as opposed to like being like, ooh, your next quest is to blah, blah, blah.
Like The Witcher or something.
Exactly. I mean, they could probably do it in such a way that it would work, but those both sound like optional side quest stuff.
And it makes sense that they're adding them since this is just Midgar. But
well,
again,
yeah, they keep saying that they're going to take Midgar.
Yeah.
And just,
but again, somebody said it looked like there might be a boss fight that would be in Midgar that wasn't until later in the original game. I don't know. But I don't even know what it was, and I didn't because I didn't look because I didn't want it.
right,
But
yeah.
I'm so hyped for it. I'm going to plow through Resident Evil 3 that week before 7 comes out.
I keep forgetting about that.
I'm excited. I can't wait. That's it for the news. Now it's time for the wrap up. Speaking of Colin, Twin Breaker is out March 24th. It's going to be $10, PS4 and Vita, 2 separate trophy lists. He said it's a fun platinum. It's not a cheap, easy platinum. And I knew it wouldn't be because he's always like, he hates these games that I play.
Really?
He's like, those shouldn't count as platinums. Like, Sony, you got to stop letting people just put out a game for $5. Basically, just
Selling
so people can get the platinum. Yeah. But I'm going to get it. I'm excited to see it's a brick breaker game with a story and everything. I'm excited for it. Half-Life Alyx has a date, March 23rd. They're trying to get the drop on Colin. For some reason, Untitled Goose Game won Game of the Year at DICE this year. It's so funny. Wario tweeted out like all the Game of the Year winners at DICE. And even if you just go back the last 3 years, it was like, I think 2016, Uncharted 4. 2017, Breath of the Wild. 2018, God of War. 2019, Goose Game. It's like one of these things is not like the other. It's fine. Like, I'm happy for them, I guess, but like, what the hell? I guess it just shows you what a weird year 2019 and Death Stranding won sound design. It didn't win soundtrack or whatever, which I was surprised at. And then it won like technical achievement or something. It didn't win direction. I think Control got direction. But I'm like, I just don't get the little time that I finally got to play the game. I was like, this isn't as fun as I thought it would be.
No, it got old quick.
It doesn't control well. It's not fun, but I'm happy for them. The Last of Us Part 2 is now in, quote, the final stretch of production, and it will be playable at PAX East. Logan, let us know. Neo 2 has gone gold. It's coming out in March. Or do you think you'll give that a try? I mean, now you got Bioshock.
I don't know much about it.
No, but I mean, sorry, I meant Neo 1. Since we have that for free, or you should have it for free.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I didn't realize it was a Souls type of game.
Yeah.
It's not by them, though.
No, it's Team Ninja. The guys that did the new style of Ninja Gaiden games and stuff.
Okay. I don't know. I may check it out. I'd have to look into it.
Yeah.
See, I'm not... When you were saying last time I was on the podcast, I was talking about looking for another Bloodborne game to play. And you had mentioned Sekiro. And I started looking into it, and maybe it's the kind of thing that if I actually played it, I would enjoy. But I was looking into it, and it's like you can like do almost like Metal Gear, like peeking around corners and stuff. And you don't like... I don't even think enemies have like a health bar. You just like attack. All you do is like dodge and parry. You're basically just trying to break their guard, and then it's you stab them and they're dead.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure one game of the year, so I'm sure
there's giant mutant chickens in it.
No, that's something.
Tickles your fancy.
Yeah, I don't know. I might check it out. Not anytime soon though.
Yeah. Switch Online updates.
Skipped one.
I'm going to do it in the order because I've actually got a Did You Know that goes into that. So that's right.
Okay.
The NES is getting Shadow of the Ninja and Eliminator Boat Duel. And the Super Nintendo is getting Poppin' Twin Bee. What the hell is that? And Smash Tennis. Thanks, Nintendo.
Awful. Why?
Thanks.
For the life of me, I will never understand why, A, these come out so slowly, and B, why are they choosing these games?
If you had the option of Switch Online or Virtual Console, I get it, because then you want people to just buy the games for $5 or $7 or whatever. But when there's no other way to play these things on the Switch, and you're obviously not going to put the Virtual Console on there 3 years after it came out, just put them all freaking on there.
It's so stupid.
You've got all the ROMs. It's literally like a copy and paste. Come on.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And then last, the Modern Warfare Battle Royale. That is hard to say. Let me try that again. Modern Warfare Battle Royale mode has leaked. Shocking.
Who's the guy in Death Stranding?
Guillermo del Toro.
There you go.
When I'm not drinking, it's much easier to say. I think it's called Warzone. Big surprise there. Sean, did you know that I have a Did You Know for this week?
I did, because you said that.
Modern Warfare 2019. Sean, did you know that in the mission Clean House, you got this far. That's the one in the townhouse.
Yeah.
If you shoot the baby, you'll get a screen saying children are non-combatants, and you'll be taken back to the last checkpoint. If, however, you shoot the baby 3 times, you get a screen saying, "Are you serious?" and you get kicked back out all the way to the mission map screen. So it completely takes you out of the mission. Like, don't shoot the baby. Yes, agreed.
Wow.
Don't shoot the baby. I just think it's funny that they actually it actually pops up on screen and says, "Are you serious?"
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I like it. That's it for episode 169 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. Thank you all so much for being here. Of course, you know you can find us on nerd901.com, where they are connecting nerds across the Mid-South and the multiverse. It's not going to stand like that. It's going to stand like that. Also, check out our buddy Ernie, the Blur Without Fear, youtube.com/Blur Without Fear. He liked the suit as well. Makes me happy.
The what? Oh, Batman.
The bat suit, yeah. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at KevinWhite24. He's at, I hit myself really hard. That was at Real Sean White. Together, we're at 2player _ / co-op. Patreon, Twitch, YouTube. Like the video, share the video. I talk about all the stuff at the beginning you don't need to know. Go to facebook.com/2player co-op gaming. We are posting this stuff over there when I remember to now. Hopefully I'll keep it up. That's what she said. That's it for this week. Thank you guys so much for being here for episode 169. And until the next time, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.